How's it going here? Welcome back to the channel. And today I just want to do a quick unboxing of the Galaxy A72. This is the 4G version, not the 5G. I don't think that one's come out yet, but it is going to be similar to the A52 5G that I had just unboxed and reviewed and did a whole bunch of camera comparisons on. So we'll compare to that later, but this is the 4G model. It's not going to be quite as beefed up as that A52, but it's going to be the larger version of this A71 from last year, which we'll do a brief comparison to here as well. So let's go ahead and get into the box. You can see A72. This is going to be the 6 gig, 128 gig model. There is a configuration that comes with 8 gigs, 256 gigs if you want, and you can find that for a little bit more money. You can see here we have the usual SIM tool, as well as no case. I was hoping for a case, but no case. And you've got your usual nighttime reading here. And here's the phone itself. We can go ahead and check this out. So I did get the white version, as you can see. It does come in a bunch of colors. The awesome colors is what they're calling it. Awesome black, awesome white, awesome violet, and awesome blue. In the US, all you're going to get is black or white in these A series models, 52 and 72. But let's go ahead and try to get this out of the plastic here. And let's see. So there we go. So this is, again, as you can see, white models. They got them with that matte look this year versus that shiny look last year, which I do prefer. This feels a little bit more solid than the A52 actually, because on this one, there's that kind of real thin sheet of plastic and you can actually press in. You can kind of see it pressing in. You can feel it. This A72, a lot more solid here, a lot more solid. So you don't feel any kind of give in the back, which is really nice. And of course, that matte white model there. So let's go ahead and power this on and get to the rest of the box, which isn't a whole lot, but for a thorough unboxing, we must do that, right? So here we go with the cord, the cable. You've got a Type-C cable here, so nothing special about that. And we've got a fast charging power brick, so it is a Type-C to Type-C, Type-C to Type-C cable. And you've got the Samsung, I believe this is 25 watts. Yes, that is a 25 watt charger. So this goes 25 watt charging, comes with a 25 watt fast charging brick in the box. You can see this is the UK model, international model, but it should get 4G LTE here in the US. It's got all the US GSM bands, so I'm not really worried about that. Let's go ahead and get all this stuff to the side and we'll go ahead and set up the phone and come back real quick. Hey everyone, so I've got the phone all set up and we'll get into it, but let's cover off some top level specs because that is important to some people. This is running the Snapdragon 720G system on a chip. It has 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage. There is a 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage configuration if you want to spend a little bit more money. This does have a 6.7 inch Super AMOLED display at Full HD 1080p. It's got 90 Hz refresh rate, so the no 120 Hz refresh rate here on the 4G model. That's going to be on the 5G model. This has the same camera setup as this A52 5G, so it's got a 64 megapixel main sensor with optical image stabilization. It's got a 12 megapixel ultra wide sensor, a 5 megapixel macro, and where this differs from this A52 5G is that this has a 8 megapixel telephoto lens with 3 times optical zoom. So you're getting that added telephoto lens, and it's got a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, so a pretty hefty battery here. And again, just slightly bigger than this A52 5G. So top level specs covered off, and as you can see here, like I said, nice matte level finish compared to the A71 here, which has that shiny glossy back there, similar to the A52 5G. And like I said before, a lot more solid build. This 52 5G does have some give to this thin sheet of plastic on the back, so very solid on the A72, I'm glad to report. And let's see, fingerprint scanner, pretty quick and responsive, feels faster than the A52, which is kind of nice. Not the fastest, but pretty good and responsive there. Like I said, nice AMOLED display here, Super AMOLED, and this is pretty much what you get out of the box. I haven't modified anything. This is what it's going to come with. And you can see a little bit of bloatware. You got Facebook, Netflix, TikTok, Samsung free, but pretty much just one page of apps. You've got the standard Google apps and standard Samsung apps here as well. This is going to be running Android 11 with One UI 3.1 out of the box. So the same software that the A52 5G is running, and pretty much the same software that you're going to get on their higher end S series phones, which is great. If you want to know a lot more about the software, a complete run through of One UI 3.1, I did that on the A52 5G. I'll link the video in the description or somewhere in the card here if you want to go ahead and check out the complete software setting walkthrough. So we'll skip that here for this unboxing because it's pretty much the same. It's got the February security patch out of the box here. And let's go ahead and check out if we've got any updates here. And we do have an update. It's downloading right now. It's the April security patch. So that's going to download, update out of the box, updates you to the April monthly update, which is pretty good. One more quick thing I want to do is on the display. Let's go ahead and check out display settings here. Motion smoothness. It is set to 90 Hz refresh rate out of the box, so that's nice. You can set it down to 60 Hz if you want to save some battery, but you're paying for that higher refresh rate. You may as well use it. And I just want to do one more thing, which is a navigation bar here, and I want to set it to the swipe gestures. I'm just used to swipe gestures, so I'm going to go ahead and set it to that. So there we go. So this is the display. If you swipe to the left, we're going to have the Google Discovery feed. So that's really nice that they're including Google Discovery by default instead of their kind of Samsung feed that they have on some of the other phones. And this gives it a little bit more of a closer to stock Google kind of feel, which is kind of nice. You either like that or you don't. If you don't like that, you can actually go here and disable that, turn off the Google Discover feed if you don't like it, or change it back to the Samsung free app if you want, but I like it on Google Discover. We can also check out the wallpapers that it comes with, which pretty much should be the standard Samsung wallpapers that you have on the A series. You can see that here. So you've got some of these different wallpapers that you can choose from if you want. Not a huge selection, but pretty much the same standard Samsung wallpapers there. Right, so we may as well go ahead and check out the display and the speakers, since we actually get stereo speakers here on the A72, which is really nice. So let's fire up YouTube here, and let's go ahead and find a video to play. Let's just play my last video. And let's just make sure we have it at max resolution. Let's go ahead and get the brightness all the way up. And make sure the speakers all the way up on the volume. So let's check out the display and the speakers here. So there you go, really bright Super AMOLED display like you would expect from Samsung, and some pretty loud speakers covering up the bottom firing loudspeakers. Still a good amount of sound coming out from the top speaker there. So really nice set of stereo speakers just like you have on the A52 5G. And so real quick, let's cover off the camera app here. So this is going to be the stock camera app from Samsung that you see on pretty much all their Samsung phones, which is pretty nice, but let's quickly run through it here. So you get access to the telephoto camera, the ultra wide, main camera there, all the different zooms, video. You do have single take on here, which is nice. You take one picture, it'll take a whole bunch of different shots and videos for you to compile at once. You do have this fun mode here. If you want to explore that, you've got a whole bunch of different things you can include there. And let's check out more real quick. You do have AR Doodle. You've got the Pro mode, which is nice for both photos and video. So you get Pro video mode here on a sub $500 device, which is really nice. Panorama, macro, portrait, slow-mo, hyperlapse. So a whole bunch of the standard camera features that you would expect from Samsung, including Pro mode for both photos and videos, which is really nice. And let's go ahead and check this out. So if we go into video, let's see, we can shoot all the way up to 4K 30 frames per second video there as well. So really nice and pretty much basic standard features here on the settings as well. So I like to enable grids, and everything else is pretty much standard there from Samsung. So good standard Samsung camera app with some nice pro features on this phone. And so again, lastly, let's just go ahead and check it out. If you have the last year's A71 model, that's what it looks like compared to each other. Again, a shiny back here compared to the matte finish here. Both really solid construction. Similar camera modules, but you see it protruding a little bit more on this year's A72. And because this one actually has a telephoto now, you can see about how big that is. Slightly bigger, slightly wider actually. On the bottom, pretty much all the same configuration with the headphone jack, Type-C, loudspeaker. But again, you can see the A72 just a little bit wider there as well. So that's how it compares to the A71 from last year. And here's the A52 5G from this year. Pretty much the same hardware, looking just a little bit bigger here. 6.7-inch display versus 6.5, but pretty much the same looking setup, except like I said, much more solid feel to the build quality here on the A72 than this A52 for whatever reason. But there it is. Real quick unboxing and walkthrough of the Galaxy A72. This is the 4G version, like I said. I'll try to do some comparisons and camera comparisons with this. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet. But if there's any other questions or things you want to see about the A72, let me know in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching.